Let's have a look at the current state of the XRP price and, of course, what we may expect in the future before we squander any more time. I am aware that the market is showing indications of progress so far. Everything is going great. And I know that Bitcoin is looking quite amazing as we head into Monday morning. We are currently discussing this topic. Of course, the altcoin market is responding positively to this Bitcoin move. For example, XRP's value has climbed 3.1% in US dollars compared to its present cost, which is caused by, while dominance remains high, we have seen a small decline in the value of Bitcoin relative to other cryptocurrencies, with a loss of about 0.2%. At the moment, the market cap is 124,400,000. And the trading volume for the past 24 hours is 2 billion. Before we continue though, I would like to make an important caveat. Please do your own research and due diligence before investing in cryptocurrency, as nothing said on this channel should be construed as financial advice. Meanwhile, gold has officially surpassed the price of 3,400 per ounce for the first time in history. I know it's slow, but it's the truth. What the fuck is going on with gold? Who is buying it at record highs and why? I mean, are we going to see interest rate cuts this year? Is inflation possible? I mean, is it possible that we will actually see a recession this year? If not, is it going to happen eventually? To be officially announced, because as economists have pointed out, the announcement of tariffs has greatly increased the likelihood of a recession. Since you are obviously aware of both of these things, I would appreciate it if you could share your thoughts on the matter. Kindly inform me of your intention to proceed by using the comment area below. John Dion, a lawyer who specializes in cryptocurrency, has predicted that XRP will eventually replace Ethereum. I wanted to start a conversation about this with you all because, as you know, there is less than 24 hours until the debut of XRP futures on Coinbase goes live. In this video, we will delve into the ways in which XRP may transform organizations' day-to-day financial operations, including international money transfers, cross-vendor payments, and the acquisition of physical assets. I have stated this from the beginning of the list that pertains to Ethereum, and it continues endlessly. When I initially started investing in cryptocurrencies in 2016, Ethereum was one of the coins I bought. Since then, I've had nothing but positive things to say about the platform. Ethereum's pros outweigh its cons when considering its practicality and usefulness from various angles, including institutional interest, retail, and more. Developers' interest, or even developer interest, is much lower than it once was. This is true whether you're discussing retail interest or developer interest. This is mainly because people have realized that there are other better, easier to build competitors such as Solana, achieving much better results than Ethereum, ETH, in the decentralized finance industry. This is mainly because Ethereum has been around for a longer time, which gives it more advantages, such as being the first, having more people involved, and stronger fundamentals. In this specific case, there is a likelihood that it will succeed in converting Ethereum in particular. In his update, John says that the cryptocurrency industry has seen regulatory clarity. He means that Bitcoin and Ethereum had that advantage before all these other assets started moving slowly, but it's clear that Ethereum fell short. I agree with him that the hype surrounding exchange-traded funds, ETFs, is exaggerated. Looking at the inflows into ETFs reveals that they're not performing up to expectations. Personally, I think XRP would outperform Ethereum in an ETF if it were approved, and that's just based on the demand for the cryptocurrency. I agree with John that Ripple is targeting the entire financial stack, and I think it would be a great idea if you could share your thoughts on the matter. However, I also think XRP has the potential to become an EET. Now, I want to thank Jake for bringing up the fact that managing payments wasn't their only goal. In the years that followed, they wanted the entire system. As the long game is finally paying off, it's clear that this was never about luck. It has always been about strategy. I'd like to inform you regarding it. Why are they behaving in this way? If they weren't serious about their ambitions to dominate the blockchain sector and the financial market, they wouldn't be acting in this way. So let's examine what they did with the hidden funds and the location where they acquired that company. In addition, they aspire to dominate the blockchain industry. I think they're showing that it's possible to have everything, a stable coin, real world assets, and cryptocurrency. It's incredible what they've been through, and I can't believe this is happening. Remain in existence. It's hard to argue that they are unable to reach their objective of being at the top considering the current state of affairs. What's even more astonishing is that they are constantly innovating and still want to be at the top. Before continuing, could you kindly review this? Currently, publicly traded corporations own nearly 700,000 Bitcoin are held by various companies, with MicroStrategy being the most prominent at 77% of the total. MicroStrategy makes up a large portion of this because, well, Michael Saylor buys Bitcoin like candy. However, I predict that bigger players will enter the market soon. Companies that aren't already being tracked, I predict that they will start to include Bitcoin in their financial statements. This asset class is attracting the attention of many businesses and governments worldwide, and its scarcity is only going to worsen in the coming years. In the near future, people will begin to understand that the demand for Bitcoin far exceeds its supply. This will signal a new era in the global money movement. Lastly, banks have partnered with Ripple to create a faster alternative that utilizes with blockchain technology. A massive amount of money will be transferred to the XRP ledger. Before we dive into that, let's examine the current situation with dominance. Yesterday, there was a significant pullback, but it has been completely erased by the dominance's recent surge, which has been absolutely explosive and has reached 64 yet again at 12%. Bitcoin has been going through a major upswing recently, and it seems like it's in an absolutely fantastic place right now with a price of $87.00, 5,000 retesting levels not seen since the beginning of the month. Everything is fine so far, and it's really important to, I still think it would look great even if there is a small decline. If Bitcoin breaks out of this range, I think it could reach 90,000. If you are following XRP right now, you may have heard that it has returned to the 38-22-22 Fibonacci retracement, which might mean that Bitcoin is on the table in the near future. Let's give it a live refresh, shall we?